Could Braun Strowman be returning to WWE? Plus, new champions and a babyface turn was teased on Raw last night. And another match has been added to this Saturday's Clash at the Castle. It's all in the wrestling news right now.
Now arriving on Platform 2 is the delayed 1837 to Braun Strowman, calling at Control Your Narrative, bypassing Impact Wrestling, and terminating at WWE?
Question mark?
How long did you stay up last night thinking about that there, Tom?
I literally thought about it as I was reading the title cards.
I've got an interesting factoid for you.
Please do.
When Braun Strowman holds a real-life basketball in his hand, it's just like that. I found a ratio downsize one for me.
We planned it just for it.
Braun Strowman might be going back to WWE. It's a report from Fightful Select. Tom, what does their report state?
Fightful Select has learned that among names pitched or discussed for a WWE return, then one of the names included is Braun Strowman. Since his release in 2021, he's had 8 matches, half of them being for Control Your Narrative. We've not learned how far negotiations have been or what the specific pitches were involving him. Fightful Select go on to say, to reiterate, we cannot confirm that he's heading back, only that pitches have been made and that he has been discussed internally. So Fightful confirming that Braun Strowman is definitely coming back. Sorry, Sean. He's going to get angry with these aggregating alligators. So not confirmed that he's coming back.
But there are murmurs. And it's an interesting one because when I saw the news last night when it broke on Twitter, I was like, Braun Strowman, did we see everything he could possibly do while in WWE?
No.
What new can we do apart from not be a train?
I mean, I don't get me wrong. I'd love him to be a train again. I liked it when they added the sound effects when he went around the ring. That was a lovely time. I think there's nothing wrong with having a very capable big man in WWE. You've got Omos right now, who isn't terrible. And I like the work that Omos has been doing. I don't think there's any harm in having a Braun Strowman on the books as well. Is he going to have 5-star matches? I don't think so, but there's an appeal to him, and I don't really see him going anywhere other than WWE. Like, there's so many people on that roster where you could see them, thriving in AEW or Impact or doing stuff in New Japan. I don't see Braun anywhere other than WWE.
I reckon he could go to a butcher's.
I mean, you could work at a butcher's.
Get these hams.
You could definitely have a job giving hams in butchers. Maybe serving them to the Von Erich family that live in the trees.
Yeah, I was right about that one. Evidence there, please, Mr. Editor.
You were
I'll
right.
send you the picture.
You were right.
He lives in the tree.
He does live in the trees.
Kevin Von Erich in the trees. But Braun Strowman might be coming back. One to keep an eye on, I guess.
Yeah, like the Von Erich in a tree. Raw last night was a busy one. Congratulations to the brand spanking new women's tag team champions, Raquel Rodriguez and Aaliyah.
No, it's Io Sky and Dakota Kai. That's how it should have gone, Tom. That's how it should have gone.
Too much sense. So it was going all right for them until Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, and Asuka ran off Bayley, and it led to some distraction shenanigans that eventually led to Aaliyah rolling up Dakota Kai for the 1-2-3.
It was a nice little tag from Aaliyah in the build-up to the finish because she sort of just got on the apron, went boop, and then just sort of hid.
Made sure the ref saw it.
Yeah, and then got back down so Dakota Kai didn't see her. Dakota Kai had a back turn. Io Sky, was kicking the poo out of Raquel Rodriguez, and that allowed old Aaliyah to roll up Dakota Kai. It was a shock. I know what they're trying to go for here with just the sort of shock value, and anyone can win. But I now hope that they invest in these two as a proper bona fide tag team, and not just like two lasses who were ultimately thrown together.
Yeah, let's actually give them some stuff that connects them as a tag team rather than being just two random people.
The colour purple.
Yeah, let's not make it just like... Because you could call the team Nothing Rhymes with Purple. I think as you said at the beginning there, Sky and Kai seem like the most likely ones to win here. The fact they didn't, I don't know, maybe they get their Rewenge on the baby faces by attacking Asuka and Alexa Bliss at Clash at the Castle. Who could team with Bianca Belair? Let's look who's back on WWE.com right now. There's Sasha Banks and Naomi listed back there again, apparently. Oh, that's just a fantasy booking on my part.
Some say, Tom, it writes itself.
It writes itself! It really does! I tell you what else writes itself: a possible babyface turn for one of our faves.
Oh man, Sami Zayn. It's been a long and winding road, in the words of Will Smith and Gareth Southgate from back in the noughties. I've just said their
It's a
names.
Beatles song, wasn't it?
The
Long and winding road.
Sami tried for ages to get in the bloodline. Roman Reigns was like, I don't want anything to do with you, son. And then Sami just didn't give up, did he? Then Jimmy and Jay, when SmackDown was in the Canadians, they couldn't get across the border. So Roman Reigns, he was high and dry. He was a target, wasn't he? So since his little cousins weren't there, he trusted Sami Zayn. He entertained Sami Zayn, didn't he? Let him in, had that lovely little buddy cop segment. And now after last week's SmackDown, Sami's a bona fide member of the bloodline. And now I guess he could be turning babyface and leaving the bloodline.
Well, they did a lovely little bit. It was a lovely little bit to do with Kevin Owens. So Sami announced that he was the master of ceremonies for SmackDown on Friday, which is a Roman Reigns championship celebration ahead of Saturday's clash at the Castle. But Kevin Owens came out as Zayn and the Usos were giving it all this. And Kev told Sami Zayn, you know what, this is beneath him and he's still one of the best wrestlers of all time. And he still considers him a brother. And you could see that little glint in Sami's eye before he realizes both the Usos were eyeballing him. And he went, it's fine. They respect me more than anyone ever did. And then shortly after, when this all falls out into Kevin Owens versus Jey Uso, there's a bit where Jey Uso's holding Kevin Owens and going, yeah, Uso, hit him with a chair to Sami Zayn. That's an exact artist's impression of what Sami Zayn did.
He didn't know what to do, did he?
Didn't know what to do with himself. What he didn't do was hit him with a chair, and this led to Owens buff with a stunner and a 1-2-3. So they expect some fallout from that.
I like it. I like the intrigue. It could go either way still. Either way. Because it felt like for the couple of weeks before the Canada SmackDown that Roman Reigns and the Usos were being a bit too harsh to Sami Zayn. And they were trying to get an organic babyface turn happening there. Then we're seeing Roman Reigns, who's clearly just using Sami Zayn. So it could go either way. It depends what... If Sami likes being used by Roman Reigns, that's I'm not going to king shame.
Hey, you do you.
You seen Roman Reigns' new t-shirt for the Cardiff show?
Is it I like to use Sami Zayn?
It says, I am your daddy. Or something like that. Something like that along the...
Does it say?
Although you can get the female version, which I'm sure the edit would lovely. Just put up there, would you? It's like Roman's my father or something like that. It's weird. It's very strange.
I was hoping it would say Clanaf Buffgilgy go F yourself. That writes itself. How about this? Picture this. A day in December. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Usos for the tag titles.
Yeah.
And that's how we get the undisputed belts off the Usos.
I think the fan investment will be there, Tom. So that's what we're looking for, aren't we? We're looking for that proper tag team with, the investment behind them in terms of the booking and just in terms of fan investment as well. And Kevin Owens and Sami, if they... Because we haven't really seen them as a babyface tag team. We saw them as a... They were heels, weren't they, against Shane McMahon somehow?
Your favourite.
When Shane kept sacking them for no reason.
Somehow they were the heels.
Disgusting.
I tell you what, we talk about great tag teams getting back together. How about Edge and Rey Mysterio rolling back the years this Saturday at Clash at the Castle?
Yes, to be taken on the Judgment Day, which is not going to comprise of Rhea Ripley because she'll be at ringside while Damian Priest and your boy Finn Balor, they'll be in the ring doing the wrestling.
They will. Dominic Mysterio will be in the corner of Edge and his dirter.
Well, I think he'll be in the corner of Rhea Ripley.
Oh, there was a bit on Raw where it looked like Dom was going to hit Rhea Ripley and Ripley was talking him round. I think Dom's going to turn on Saturday. I think Dom fancies Rhea, but then he's only human.
I was going to say, what do you mean by turn on Saturday?
I mean, yeah, I don't mean in that sense.
Will we be seeing some saucy scenes live in Cardiff?
A chap like you can turn a guy's head. No, I think that Dom is going to join the Judgment Day just so he can have a happy, fulfilled, unkink-shamed life of Rhea Ripley just beating him up every day.
Next week he appears on Raw in one of those dog masks and a dog collar and a gimpy suit with the holes where the nipples are.
Being led to the ring by Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
You lucky,
on a leash.
lucky. So that is
I'd love
added.
to smother you in custard, you lovely trickle. Ooh. That's a William Regal bit from Rampage. He really likes his
Hello,
caliber.
my little marshmallow. Yum, yum, yum. So that is added to the card for this Saturday's Clash at the Castle. What else is happening?
Yes, we're seeing the 6-women tag team match. Bianca Belair, Asuka and Alexa Bliss, maybe, but if Tom gets his, will be somebody else, won't it?
Right
Taking
yourself.
on Bayley, Kai and Sky. Rollins versus Matt Riddle. He's got his match back.
He got his mat back on Raw. More on that in a bit.
Boy, oh God, if I just spoiled one of the stories for the next video.
No, it's a bit we're chucking in for the next video. It's fine.
Gunther will be taking on Sheamus for the Intercontinental Championship. Liv Morgan will be defending her SmackDown Women's Championship and her broken arm against Shayna Baszler. And of course, Rue versus Strowman. Rue.
Rue wasn't Rue like one of the people that did like WWF Saturday Morning with Josh Matthews?
I'm too young for that, Tom. I don't know.
Rue DeBona was her name. It was something like that. I'm sure that was her name. That's a throwback.
Rue DeBona.
I'm sure her name was something like Rue DeBona.
Rude Boner.
No. I'm sure her name was Rue DeBona. You know who I mean. You know who I mean!
Rude Boner.
That name wasn't Rude Boner. It was
Interesting.
Rude Boner. I'm sure it was. Anyway, more wrestling news throughout the day at rudebona.com. Stay safe.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.